And he goes, I usually date white women because they're easier to deal with. I don't really like, date black girls. But you don't count because you look mixed. Like you're mixed. Oh my gosh, am I too black for certain men? I'm looking around in Brazil. Most of these girls, they look nothing like me at this party. All of these athletes are black men. They're black. None of them are speaking to darker skinned girls. I've honestly never struggled with identity as a black woman until recently, and we are going to talk about it. Let's try this again. Hey, you guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Try This Again. I am your host, b.simone. If you have never been here, thank you so much for tuning into my podcast. Oh my gosh, you guys, we are almost a year into podcasting. I've been a podcaster for about 3 years, but this podcast, Let's Try This Again, is about to be a year old. I cannot believe this. What? Oh my gosh. Happy anniversary. It's coming, but we're going to do an anniversary episode. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. If you have never been here before, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for giving this podcast a chance. I hope you enjoy it. Go check out all the other episodes. We got about 45 episodes plus that you can just binge watch. Go binge watch it. Start at episode 1. Start at the beginning and watch my journey. Watch the evolution. Watch the healing, the growing, the evolving. If you are an OG, thank you for coming back. OGs. Y'all know every Monday, the audio drops on all audio platforms. Every Tuesday, the visual drops on YouTube. You guys, I cannot wait to get into this topic. I am so excited to talk about identity crisis. Oh my gosh. You guys, I've honestly never struggled with identity as a black woman. I've always loved my hair. I've always loved my skin. I've always loved my curls. I've always loved my melanin. I've always loved my big juicy lips. I even try to make them bigger. You already know my story on lip filler. I had lip filler. Okay. I've loved my nose. I've loved just everything about being a black woman. I've never experienced this until recently, and we are going to talk about it. You guys, this episode is so important because so many black women, struggle with accepting themselves because of society standards, because of social standards, and I just want to really, really highlight the importance of loving yourself, loving your skin, loving your melanin, loving your hair, loving your features, loving every aspect of you, no matter what environment you're in, no matter what people's opinions are, no matter what the media and society is plastering all over the internet, in the news, and the billboards and the magazines. You are enough. You are beautiful. And that is what this episode is about. Identity crisis, baby. Let me tell y'all where it all started, because I need to get down to the nitty-gritty of why my mind even went here and why all of a sudden it was an issue, because I am 34 years old and I don't think I've ever dealt with this or had these type of thoughts in this capacity. So I was in LA with my homegirl, Connor. Shout out to Connor, one of my best friends. Love you, girl. Love you, sis. In LA with my girl. And Connor, this is important, so I'm going to explain what Connor looked like now. If we got to have a picture pop up, we got to have a picture pop up. Connor is half black, half white, right? But she identifies as a black woman. Her hair is curly. Her skin is brown. But, to society and to the world, she looks like a mixed girl. She might look Dominican. She might look Puerto Rican. She might look black and white, but she doesn't just look only black, only ethnic. She doesn't look urban, right? Connor is light skin, curly hair, but her mom is white, her dad is black. She identifies as a black woman, though. When she goes to the doctor, she doesn't check other, she checks African American. When she is speaking, she's speaking, from a black woman's perspective. Mentally, she thinks like a black woman. Her features are a black woman, from her nose to her skin to her curly hair. She identifies as a black woman. But like I said, she looks mixed, right? Or racially ambiguous. Is that the word? Am I using that right? Yes. Thank you guys so much for nodding behind the camera, because I do not want to get eaten up. Y'all know how y'all like to tussle, especially when it's about race and blackness. Okay, just make sure I'm using the right words. She looks racially ambiguous. Google that if you don't know what it means, because I know what it means and I used it correctly. Thank you. You guys, you know that feeling when you've been traveling for hours, running on airport snacks and airport sleep, and you finally get to your hotel just to find out your room isn't ready, or worse, they lost your reservation? Y'all, I've been there. But let's just try this again with Fora Travel Advisor, because when you travel with a Fora Travel Advisor, those kinds of fails just don't happen. Y'all, I love me some Fora. I told y'all once, I'm gonna tell y'all again, travel agents are back in a big way. And Fora is the modern travel agency, redefining what it means to be and book with a travel agent. Fora advisors have access to the best partners, best perks, best training, and community support, and the best techs in the business, all so that you have the best trip experience. When you book with a Fora advisor, you get the best version of your trip. I'm talking insider access, worldwide room upgrades, late checkouts, resort credits, VIP treatment, but y'all, beyond that, Fora advisors are part of something bigger. They're a part of a global community of travel experts who share knowledge, swap recommendations, and help each other so that you can get something that fits your vibe. No matter the vibe of your getaway, your Fora advisor cuts through the noise and delivers a trip that's seamless, effortless, and completely upgraded. All you have to do is remember to pack your passport. So whether you're looking to plan your next trip or start booking for others, Fora makes it easy. Visit foratravel.com/b.simone and let them know you came from b.simone to get started and see what you've been missing. That's foratravel.com/b.simone and let them know you came from b.simone, because great travel doesn't just happen, it's planned. Visit foratravel.com/b.simone and let them know you came from B.Simone's podcast. All right, you guys, back to the show. Visiting Connor in LA. We start talking about, like, are you dating? She's like, are you dating? I'm like, no, girl, I haven't been on any dates. So by the way, anybody out there, I'm opening my heart to love. Romance, DM me. I've been going through my DMs. Please don't DM me if you don't have a profile picture. If your whole page is your cats in the cat litter, you taking pictures of spaghetti. Who are you, sir? Please DM me if you are just a normal person that is open to love. Okay? That's just a little side note. DMs are open. But boom, I'm in LA with Connor and we're talking about, I'm like, so have you been dating? She's like, actually I have. I've been on a couple dates. And she tells me, she's like, but I went on this one crazy date. It was so crazy. And it just didn't work out. I was like, okay, so what happened? She goes to tell me about this guy. He's this athlete, NBA player, well-known. I didn't know the nigga, but y'all know I don't know sports. So anybody that knows sports probably knows this man. Very established in the NBA community. Okay? Top 5. I guess. I'm guessing he top 5. I'm guessing he ain't on the bench, but I don't know. He could be a backup. Do they have backup if somebody gets hurt? Whatever. He's in the NBA and he is established, right? Nice looking young man. And she tells me she goes on a date with him. They're out to eat. They have good conversation. She loves his personality. And they start talking, they start vibing, they're laughing, great energy. And she just asks him, like, okay, so are you dating? Blah, blah. He explains. And then she asks, so what kind of girls do you usually go for? Like, what kind of girls do you like? And when she asked this, she's told me, she didn't say this to him, but she was like, I should have known because his past relationships are all white women, So his baby mama's white, his ex-girlfriends are white. And she just happened to ask him that, I guess, because she's like, usually date white women and you're sitting across from a black girl. So what type of women do you usually like? And he looks at her with a straight face and he goes, I usually date white women because they're easier to deal with. I don't really like, date black girls. But you don't count because you look mixed. Like you're mixed. So Connor said her mouth dropped and she kind of laughed it off. I mean, I don't think that was the time to have a Black Panther meeting, or a civil rights movement, or just put him in the KKK. I don't think that was the time. So she just laughed it off. She kept her composure and was like, this will never work. She's like, I am a literal black woman. I'm a black woman. They never went on another date again, but they always kept in contact. She was like, he's a good friend, but just as far as, I respect his opinion. I respect what he said, but I'm a black woman. This will never work. This is just, I'm a black woman first. So we're at her house and I'm like, he didn't say it like that. Like this can't, it couldn't have been like that blatant. She was like, no, he did. And I think he said it like that to her because of how she looked. And in his mind, he didn't identify her as a black woman. Americans spend on average 90% of their time indoors. But y'all, did you know indoor air can be up to 100 times more polluted than outdoor air? I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. Breathe easy with Air Doctor, the award-winning air purifier that eliminates 99.99% of dangerous contaminants like allergens, viruses, smoke, gases, mold, and more. Air Doctor was voted the best air purifier by Newsweek, so it's no surprise that 98% of Air Doctor customers agree. Their home's air feels cleaner, safer, and healthier. Unlike other purifiers, Air Doctor captures invisible particles 100 times smaller than the standard HEPA filters. Head to airdoctorpro.com and use the promo code b.simone to get up to $300 off today. Air Doctor comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee plus a 3-year warranty. That's an $84 value for free. Get this exclusive podcast-only offer now at airdoctorpro.com. That's airdoctorpro.com using promo code b.simone. All right, you guys, back to the show. He said, I like to date white women because they're easier to deal with. But not only do you think they're easier to deal with, you like the way they look. Because you mentioned Connor, well, you don't count because you look mixed. Not because you act white or because you're easy to deal with, or he didn't refer to her character and her personality. He referred to the way she looked. So technically you like dating white women because of the way they look and because, in your opinion, they're easier to deal with, right? So fast forward, Connor's telling me this story. We're at her house in her kitchen and she's like, girl, I'm about to call him. I'm about to FaceTime him. I'm like, there's just no way he said it like that. Like, there's no way. She's like, I'm about to FaceTime him. Watch. So we're cooking in her kitchen, doing all our fitness stuff. She's really into herbs and wellness and fitness. We're getting ready to go to the gym. We're like cooking or whatever. She FaceTimes him. He picks up. Hey, what's up? Da-da-da. First of all, first time I seen the nigga. Niggas of niggas. Well, he ain't the niggas of niggas. He's light skinned, but braids to the back, kinky hair. You look at this man, he is a black man. Period. At the end of the day, he's a black man. He's like, hey, what's up? They start talking. He's like, and Connor goes, I was telling my friend about our date, like what you said on our date. And he was like, oh, what did I say? Like, what did I say on our date? She's like, you know how you said you prefer to date white women because they're easier to deal with. And he like laughs it off. He's like, yeah. What's up? What about it? Like, basically, like, you know, whatever. Like, he really said that. I was like, whoa. You know, he was like, well, my friend would just, you know, we were over here like talking about it. And she just thought it was absolutely crazy that you said it. And I wanted you to meet her or whatever. So he's like, okay, cool. So I get in the camera. I go, hey, how are you? Like in the FaceTime or whatever. And he goes, hey, what's up? He goes, oh, you look familiar. I'm like, yes, my name is b.simone, sincerely a black woman, you know, and I made a joke, of course. Like I said, this isn't the time to have a freaking come to Jesus meeting about race. But I did make a joke and I did acknowledge it. And he kind of laughed it off or whatever. And she was like, so you still think, you know, she brought it up. I didn't like really interact with him, but she was like, you still think white women are easier to deal with? He was like, well, I mean, I guess my theory doesn't hold up because my baby mama is crazy. She's driving me crazy. His baby mama is white, right? So he was like, yeah. So he kind of made that joke or whatever. But after that conversation, end up getting off the phone. We end up talking about it. And Connor just tells me how that relationship would never work for her because she identifies as a black woman. And I just thought it was absolutely insane that at the end of the day, even though his baby mama's white, he's lighter skinned. So I couldn't imagine his children being darker melanated. I don't know. But you're birthing black girls. You're birthing black girls. You're at the end of the day, you're still a black man and you're birthing black girls. So that was just crazy for him to say that. But after that, I was preparing for a trip. After that whole encounter, after that whole story, me and Connor end up talking more about it. 2 weeks later, I'm preparing for a trip to go to Brazil. Before this conversation, I never thought in my life, am I too black? Am I too ethnic? Is my hair too ghetto? Am I too urban? Do I dress too like a black girl? Is the braids in my hair, does it make me look more ethnic? But that conversation planted a seed in my mind like, oh my gosh, am I too black for certain men? And maybe it only planted the seed because I'm really like seeking romantic love in this season. And it kind of made me think like, Am I too urban? Am I too black? I know this sounds crazy, but those were the thoughts that were going through my head. And I brought up Brazil because those thoughts started to come up when I was preparing for my Brazil trip, because I was getting braids for the trip. And I'm literally like, are these braids too big? Like, do these look ghetto? Like, these are the thoughts going through my head. And I'm like, this is absolutely insane. Like, why am I thinking like this? You know, it didn't deter me away from getting the braids or make me be like, okay, I just need to wear bone straight hair. I need to look more racially ambiguous. I need to look more mixed. I need to look less urban. No, I still end up getting the braids, but those thoughts were in my head, which was absolutely crazy because I've never experienced thinking about stuff like that. Like, is my hair too curly? Are these braids ghetto? Does it make me look more black, or does it make me look more mixed? Does it make me look softer, or does it make me look more aggressive and ghetto? Like, these thoughts have never been in my head until after that conversation. And I noticed it when I was getting ready for my trip to Brazil. It was a new insecurity that started to come up for me that I have never experienced before. And it made me start to question beauty standards and if I was good enough for certain men, or if I was good enough for certain black men, if I was good enough for society standards, technically, I guess. And I had never thought about that. And that insecurity had never been an issue for me before that conversation. So I end up getting ready for this trip to Brazil. I'm in my head about it. And maybe it's because, like, okay, so I go to Brazil with my homegirl, and a high-end celebrity invited her to his birthday party, and we end up going out there. One of her friends, he's a big soccer player. We go out, planning to go out on this trip. I'm like, maybe I'm overthinking it because of the celebrity status. Maybe I'm overthinking it because of this is a high value man, maybe, and he's going to have high value men there and do high value men, not like black girls. And am I too ghetto? And I was just overthinking, and it sounds so dumb, but that conversation with Connor and that experience that Connor had, her sharing that with me, planted a seed in my mind that, you know, am I too ghetto? Am I too urban? And the girl I was going to Brazil with, she's racially ambiguous too. She's so crazy. She's half white. Monica, one of my besties. Monica's half white, half black, but she identifies as a black woman. She's black, curly hair, pretty skin, freckles, melanated skin, about my skin tone. Beautiful. She looks more mixed, but she identifies mentally, physically, spiritually. She's like, I'm a black woman, period. I'm checking black on the box. So I'm like, dang, like, Monica looks mixed. Monica looks more racially ambiguous. Like, is she bringing the ghetto friend? Like, these thoughts were going through my head. I'm like, this one little conversation with this nigga got me thinking I'm too black, you know? Thankfully it didn't overpower my thoughts and overpower me to the point where I tried to change my character or change my voice or change my hair or change who I was. I still walked in 100% my true authentic self on that trip, but it's the first time I ever experienced those type of thoughts. So I'm getting ready for the trip, end up getting the braids. I'm like, I'm getting braids. These are cute to me, right? End up getting to Brazil, and it's just so crazy. I don't know if this was my perception because of the seed that was planted in the previous conversation with Connor, or if it was truly my reality. But I'm looking around in Brazil. I'm like, most of these girls look racially ambiguous. They look nothing like me at this party, excuse me. All of these athletes that are black men, okay, they're black. We're talking about darker than me, kinky hair, black men. And some of them were Brazilian. Some of them weren't black. Some of them were different races. But black men, none of them are speaking to darker skinned girls. Out of the hundreds of people at the party, first of all, there was I counted on one hand, 4 dark skinned, beautiful black girls, 4 dark skinned girls. The rest were mixed, light skin, fair skin. It was a room full of Kardashians, period. That's exactly what it looked like. So I'm like, dang, like, and the guys were nice to me. They were talking to me. They were friendly. We were partying. We were dancing. We were having fun. But once those moments were over, I'm like, oh, he's trying to talk to her, or he's really vibing with her, or like, I didn't know if this was in my head or if this was really happening. And they say your perception is your reality. So if I'm perceiving that, that's my reality. You know what I mean? But most of the women there looked very mixed and diverse and just not black, not urban, not beautiful, kinky, coily hair. And even the black girls that were there, their hair was bone straight with extensions. They were very skinny. They looked, it literally, like I said, looked like a room full of Kardashians, you know? And it made me feel like for the first time, like, whoa, like, maybe I don't fit in here. Maybe this is like, these type of guys would never date a girl like me. These are the things I'm thinking. Maybe, okay, you know, I do need to, like, I just can't believe that based off that one conversation, it planted a seed that made me overthink when I was at this major party in Brazil. So it was the first time I ever had issues with identity crisis. And it really hit me when I was in that environment in Brazil. Either way, you guys, it made me confront a new layer of identity crisis that I had never confronted before or felt before. And I'm just so grateful that some women that deal with this feel like they have to conform. I'm so grateful that even in those moments, I'm going to still be in my full authentic self. I was being crazy. I was being loud. I was dancing. I was talking to people. But maybe I was in my head. Like, I don't know if it was perception or reality, but it didn't shift how I showed up in a room. And I feel like so many black women battle with that, whether it's your hair texture, whether it's your skin color, whether it's the way you talk, whether it's the way you act or move. You feel like you have to shift who you are to be accepted in a room, and you don't. Like, I want women to know, black women especially, that even though society tries to exclude us, baby, they want everything that we have, from the curls to the big lips to all the things, the body shape. Like, they try to exclude us, but you are more than enough. You are beautiful. Your skin tone, like, I will never know what it's like to be a darker skinned black woman, and the things that y'all have to go through, and the doors that are shut, and the battles that y'all have to face. Like, one of my friends, she's a social media friend, but I was seeing one of her posts and she was like, I'm so sick of hearing you're pretty for a dark skinned girl, or your skin looks so good for a dark skinned girl, or I usually don't like dark skinned girls, but you're so pretty. Like, first of all, the people that are making these type of comments, please stop. Like, enough is enough. Please stop. If that's in your head, keep it in your head. Okay? And you need to rewire your brain and figure out why you're thinking like that, because it truly does affect people. I can only imagine women that have been going through this for years, that have been going through this since middle school, that have been going through this since high school. I can't sit here and lie to you and say that I've ever really experienced or felt like that until this recent moment and this recent encounter. But y'all, we're enough. Your hair, your skin, your nails, your outfit. If you want to wear long, loud, colorful, beautiful nails, that's your personality, do that. If you want to wear your hair in box braids and colorful, and do that. You know what I mean? So don't let it shift and alter who you are to your core because you feel like you have to fit in a box. And I'm like, thankfully, I'm not super easily offended. Like I said, it did make me think, but I'm like, okay, if these niggas don't like me, I'm gonna go to a room where they do. Like, put yourself in environments where you feel, and I don't know if that's the answer. If the answer is, hey, see me, respect me, or just go to environments where you're seen and respected. I don't have the answers, but that was one of my thoughts, where I'm like, if you don't feel welcome in this environment, if you don't feel like you fit in, if you don't feel like these type of men like you, and technically you want a man that has morals, values, character, a great heart, all of those things. So what is the definition of these type of men? You know what I mean? Is it just high value in finances? But you got to be high value with your character, your morals, your values, who you are, how you treat people, how you treat people that look like you. You know what I mean? So you might not even want to be with those type of men, but go to environments where you're welcome, where you feel loved and where you feel accepted, opposed to trying to change everybody's mind in an environment where they don't respect you, love you, or, treat you the way you should be treated. That's just my opinion. I want to know what y'all think about that. Because literally I'm at that party like, well, I mean, if these niggas don't like me, there's a million out there that do. I don't have to feel like I have to be accepted in this room. Just go to a room where you're accepted. Does that make sense? How do y'all feel about that? Like changing the narrative in the environments where you're not welcome, or just going to environments where you are welcome? I want you guys to comment and let me know your opinion on that. Y'all, and let me make this very clear, very, very clear. By no means was I disrespected in Brazil. The birthday boy, he was the sweetest, nicest person. Me and my friend Monica were like, this man is just the nicest, sweetest, most accommodating, friendliest, coolest guy on the planet. He walked up to us. It's like his birthday. He's like, so how y'all doing? Everything good? Like, how's your family? And me and Monica were like, what? He's like, no, how's your family? How's the family doing? And we were like, good. Like, we're like, who asked how your family is in the middle of a freaking birthday party? Like, he was just so great. His friends were so great, so nice. Like, by no means did I feel disrespected. Did I feel that anybody was being racist or anybody was being prejudiced because of the way I looked? I didn't feel like that at all. So I want to make that very clear. The environment was safe, friendly, and nice. Okay. But I did want to bring up my perception, whether it was perception or reality of what I was thinking and what I saw physically with my eyes because of the seed that was planted back in LA at Connor's house because of her experience. But I just want to encourage Black women to walk into every room embracing every part of who you are. And if you are not welcome and respected and honored and valued in that room, go find rooms and tables and opportunities and environments where you are. I don't think we always have to change people's minds. We just need to go where we are valued. And of course, we want people to think a certain way about us and be nice and be kind and not diminish who we are. But go to the rooms where you're valued. Go to the rooms where you're embraced. And I want to know y'all's experience. Even with the darker skinned women that listen to me, like, I want to know y'all's experience. I want to know if you've ever experienced this, if you've ever felt out of place in a room, if you've ever felt like, even the comment, if like the guy that commented to Connor, if anybody has ever made a comment like that to you. I can't think of a time. My memory is so freaking bad, maybe, but I can't think of a time where a comment was that blatant, like in my face. I want to know y'all's experiences, and I want us to heal through this issue of society's beauty standards, because it's a facade and does not have to be our reality. It can be perception, but it doesn't have to be our reality. And I want to encourage all of you women to love yourself, love your skin, love your hair, love your kinky coils, love your melanin, love your big lips, love your thick body, love your shape, love every aspect of you, and start there. And I said this in another episode, we can't expect people to love us when we don't love ourselves. You want everybody else to accept your skin, but you don't accept your skin. You want everybody else to love your hair, but you don't love your hair. You don't even wear your hair. You're not nourishing and taking care and loving on and moisturizing and loving and helping your hair be healthy and grow, and you don't even like your hair. You just hide it because of whatever reason. You don't like your skin. A lot of people are skin bleaching, which is just so big in the Black community. So we can't expect people to love us when we don't love ourselves. It starts with us. So I encourage every single Black woman to just love yourself, whether you look racially ambiguous and you still, identify as a Black woman, or whether you're dark on the darker skin, or whether you're loud, or whether you like long ghetto shiny nails, baby, because I switched my nails up too. They got a little classy right now, but I like the long ghetto nails. I like the Bantu knots and the braids and the Black hairstyles that come from our culture. I like all of those things. And however you decide to express yourself, however you decide to express yourself that day is enough. Whether it's the long nails, whether it's the short French, whether it's the braids, whether it's the bone straight. So whatever that is, I just encourage you guys to show up as your true authentic self and not mold and shift and maneuver who you are based on how you want other people to perceive you, because it's not going to be enough anyway. You do all that stuff and change and all that stuff, but on the inside, you're not fulfilled, you feel empty, and you're not being true to exactly who you are, and you're showing up with a facade. And that's not reality. That's not fulfilling. That's not sustainable long term. Take off the mask, take off the facade, and show up as your true, authentic self, no matter what room you're in. In the rooms that don't respect you, honor you, and value you, leave those rooms, shut the door, and go walk into a room where you are. So I love you guys so much. I just had to share that story time and let you know, for the first time in my life, I battled with identity. Just thankfully, it wasn't turning into my actions, but it was a thought. It was a thought. And that's why you guys have to take every thought and cast it down if it's not good. And don't meditate on negativity, because it will grow and grow and grow and grow. Your thoughts turn into actions, which turn into character, which turn into the rest of your life. It turns into who you are. That thought could have changed my actions and changed my life and changed my character and changed the way I acted and the way I looked at myself and the way I maneuvered and the way my self-worth and my value. And no, I stopped it at a thought. A thought that was scary enough for me to be like, hold on now. Like, let's not make that our reality. Catch the thoughts before they turn into your reality in your life, in your routine, in your character, and who you are in the physical realm. Catch the thoughts. That one thought did come up though, and it made me want to speak on this. We are enough no matter how we look. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please, let's keep this conversation going. I want to know about y'all's experiences, and I wasn't going to make an episode about it because I'm like, this sounds absolutely crazy. Like, how could that make me think I'm not good enough? But the thought did come up, and it planted a seed of self-worth and, insecurity that I never dealt with before. But yeah, let's keep this conversation going on socials. Instagram is at Let's Try This Again. You guys remember the LTTA app is coming, at LTTA app, APP. Go follow on Instagram for all updates. The app is coming with so much exclusive BTS behind the scenes exclusive content. I cannot wait for you guys to get this app. It will be coming soon. We'll have a date soon. All the updates will be on the Instagram. And yeah, comment below. I want to hear your stories. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for listening. New episodes, audio episodes every Monday, and new visual YouTube drops every Tuesday. So see you guys next week.